Hi everybody. Today I want to share with you some wood that was pulled out of the Atlantic Ocean here just the other day. I went snorkeling trying to find a shipwreck that's right off of shore here. I live 3 miles from the beach, and this shipwreck is supposed to be out in shallow water at 25 feet or so. And you know, that'll vary with the tide coming in and out. And it's the Gil Blas out of Cuba. Now, there was some wood sticking out of the sand, but upon investigating, there were stainless steel screws in it, indicating it's more modern. So that definitely wasn't it. And I didn't find anything that even hinted of a shipwreck or ribs of a ship. I've seen some wrecks before, and you could, like, it was identifiable. It was a ship, like the skeleton, you know? Okay, here's the wood that is interesting and in question. Let's come in and give you a really good look. This wood has wormholes on it, and I work with wood and build furniture, but I really don't know what kind of wood this is, to tell you the truth. Maybe you can see some of these holes and the grooves. This wood is remarkably heavy for its size. The weight of it really, you know, it's very dense. What may provide us a clue about this wood and the kind of, the time era, it does have some holes with rust around those holes. That is indicative of iron, steel before stainless, but really stainless can eventually stain, so, but let's see. Here's the actual hole. Again, I hope this is conveying in the video. So if anyone has a clue that could help us crack the mystery about this, even maybe that kind of wood, really don't know, but it's interesting, you know. And I see also where some of the grooves are from the worms. There's like some sort of white residual left. So let's see if I'm going to look closer at these holes. It's really chewed up. I can see metallic fragments. I'm pretty sure that's not going to convey in the video, but kind of sorry about the quality here. I have all kinds of treasures from the earth, and this is one of them. I'm happy to have this. I think it's interesting, and I like to display different sticks. I collect rocks and fossils as well. About diving out there, I was very comfortable. It was tranquil, but I recently heard there have been more shark attacks off of Florida in my area than anywhere in the world. Had I known that, I would not have gone out there. I don't watch TV. I'm out of touch with this. And online, I'm not really looking up news so much. So, you know, you get out of touch with these things, including pop culture and all that. But to feel more safe, because, you know, I realize there are things out in the ocean that can get us. I did wear this diving knife strapped to my thigh, and I will tell you, of the knives I own, and I do have a pretty decent collection, this knife is the least sharp. Well, it has a serrated edge here for cutting, so this part's okay, but the tip, it's really not that sharp. But listen, if you were in a situation where a shark came, let me tell you, this is going to be an advantage for you rather than not having it. With enough power, you know, you can get them to fuck off you. Because sharks like easy pickings. And I learned through researching that they tend to hang out in murky waters. They can't see well, and their prey is at a disadvantage when the water's murky. So they don't really like hunting in clear water. You also tend to find them around inlets where, let's say, a river or canal meets up with the ocean, and they will come in. There have been sharks found further inland in brackish water. And there's actually a place in Africa they found a shark 200 miles inland from the ocean in a river somewhere. So they can come in from the ocean in places people don't expect. And in my area, there have been a number of people bitten by sharks in the canal. And it's very real. The threat, I mean, of course the odds are unlikely, but guess what? It does happen, and if it happens to you, it won't be so great. And they say often it's not like fatal, but it's going to really fuck your day up, okay? Or you're going to be missing an arm or something. Let's see, what were they saying here in Florida? Common attacks are coming from, what was it? Bull sharks and tiger sharks, was it? That were the most aggressive. Now, I've met people who live in condos off of the beach here, and they've told me they see sharks all the time, that they're always out there, you know, even when it's not mating season, or they're not navigating from this place to that place. I mean, they live there, okay? But they're going to be more so there at certain times of the year. And people have been bit in very shallow water. And there was a time I developed this phobia of going into the ocean. Not because of sharks, but I had an incident out in California where I was born. And what happened, first off, the water in Florida is very, very shallow, okay? Considering off the Pacific Ocean in San Diego, because the mountains descending down toward the coast continue descending down into the water. So it's a very dramatic, deep drop-off, and when you have deeper waters, you have much bigger fish. But what happened, the fear actually, it was a situation, I was in this place where it was very sandy, and the drop-off's like this in the water, so as soon as you're in there, you're not touching water anymore, or sand. And when I tried to get out of the water, the waves were like making this suction noise, going and like sucking back. And it was sucking me back, and the sand was just soft falling away, and I was like, there was a sense of panic kind of kicking in, and I had taken some kids there. I was babysitting, and they were enjoying their boogie boarding and all of that. But after that incident, I did not take them back there. And I later learned that it was a spot where more people had drowned in that area than any other place. And they actually removed the lifeguards from that spot because it was too dangerous for them even. So it was one of those things where you got to swim at your own risk. And that was at Black's Beach in the northern part of San Diego. So there was something in that where I had a shift, and I was afraid to go in the water. And I grew up with water. was comfortable with it. I learned to swim really early on. I didn't have fear, and I'm not a fear-based person, walking around afraid of people, things, places, you know. I see a lot of that in our country, by the way, fear-based people. But there was just something in not being able to get out of the water like that, and the suction, the power of how I felt it like pulling me, you know. But here in Florida, it's very flat. We don't have mountains. The only hill here is the dump. And I'm not playing here. I'm dead serious. When I first moved here, I didn't realize that was the dump, but I was kind of making a sarcastic joke, like, oh, looky, everyone, a hill! Like, finally, a hill. They said, that's the dump. Yep, they call it Mount Trashmore. So, anyway, yeah, the ocean, it's a beautiful, mysterious place. I have a lot of respect for it, but I was really glad I did have the experience swimming, though, the other day, because I've managed to overcome the phobia I developed while I lived out in California, and that was actually in my 20s, and I'm in my 40s now. So I've lived in Florida for 15 years, and when I first got here, I was like kind of warming up to going back into the water, but I still had this sense of anxiety, but I was able to overcome it. And I will still be going out in the water from time to time, but I just didn't know about all the shark stuff, so it was kind of like, ooh! And then my dad, he's telling me, because he knows I don't watch TV or even own a TV, and I'm oblivious to some of the stuff going on, and he was like, now, isn't this a good example with this shark thing, why you should tune in? I'm like, no, Dad. Had I done that, I would not have gone in that water. And I would have missed the experience, and nothing really happened to me. It was very beautiful and tranquil. My diving partner, he had a spear with him, and he's a veteran, you know, and has been doing more advanced diving and snorkeling for a long time. And I felt comfortable, more comfortable with him there, actually. But let's take one last look at the wood here, and please write in with any thoughts or clues. Again, I'm not sure. I mean, this could be oak because it is very dense and heavy, but it could be some other hardwood as well. The marks with the hole. Okay. And the cute little wormholes. This could be more modern wood, but I don't know. I'm really not familiar with what they were making the ships were back in the day, but the Gil Blas was out of Cuba, and I think it may be made of hot mahogany or likely some tropical hardwood. And there is an expert who had investigated that particular shipwreck, saying the wood was oak, and it probably came out of England, and it's not, he doesn't believe it's the Gil Blas at all, actually. But it was still a worthy shipwreck to investigate, and I wanted to go out and see it. And my swimming friend brought it up because he's passionate about shipwrecks and diving and snorkeling and fishing. And also, years ago, I did a dive with him, and I got to see the SS Copenhagen, also off of the coast here, and it was just like beautiful. I mean, you could just see the ribs of the boat so clearly. There was a bronze plaque that said SS Copenhagen, and I was able to dive down far enough with just a snorkel and a mask to get a real clear look at it. And it was a great experience, but I was still having my water phobias back then, more so. And he's like, now listen, don't freak out if you see a fish as big as you. It's likely a tarpon. I'm like, I'm going to freak out if I see any fish as big as me, because, well, it's as big as me, and also it has a predator that's even bigger than it, a shark, okay? Now, the other day when I went swimming, there was a nurse shark under the ledge, and those are harmless, and I hear they don't even have teeth, or I don't know, but they're not anything to worry about, and they're like a giant catfish. But he just told me about it because I tried to go down and see it under the ledge, but I wasn't able to hold my breath as long, and my ears were hurting from the depth of the water, so I was running into that. But that was a very positive experience, and I'm glad I went. And I would still do it again, but I think I would have more fear in the back of my mind, or more awareness with the shark thing. I want to look into is there a shark taser or some sort of repellent or something, you know? Oh, on an ending note though, I just want to say this. Okay, I saw this program once, and they did this experiment where they put 2 dummy divers in the water. And one was just doing a dead man's float, and the other, they rigged it up to where it would kick by hooking the oxygen tank to it to operate it. Well, what happened, and they threw some chum in the water, some fish guts or something, to start attracting the sharks. They started coming in. Here's what they do. This is what I learned, and they were talking about in the video, and you need to know this. Before a shark attacks you, okay, what he's going to do, just like in this video, they're going to circle, okay? Also, when they come in, they're really sporadic, okay? They have a hard time with the seeing, and they're kind of smelling or sensing or something like that. Also, they like easy pickings, and the sick and the dying, and or a scared critter, you know, with a beating heartbeat. So if you see a shark and freak out, it's going to be worse for you. But they don't want to fight. They want easy pickings. And when those sharks started circling those dummies, the one was swimming, the one was floating, they went for the dead one. Yeah. They ignored the kicking swimmer and went for the one that was just floating still. And what they do before they attack, boom, they come and they bump you like a stun. Okay, and they're going to catch you off guard. And when that happens, get ready, because he is coming back. That is what they do. And it almost reminds me of how a cat bats a mouse around for a bit before it finally eats it. So they kind of wear it out a bit, stun it, because they don't want to get bit either, you know? So do know, if you get bumped, be prepared. Also, fight back. You will have a chance, because again, they don't want any trouble, okay? I've also been told that, you know, people talk about punching them in the face. That's a little too close to the mouth. And remember, they move around a lot, so it's going to be a little awkward for you. But that they have very, very tender gills, and to ram your hand inside of it, and don't be afraid. There are some fish that have some sharp bones, like razors, that can cut you, but the shark does not, or at least I was told that. And so do your best to fight back, and you will have a chance, and try to stay calm. Yeah, right. Well, thank you for watching, and happy swimming. Please write in with any comments at all about your own diving and swimming adventures, any fears or phobias you had to face, and also this wood, what you think, you know, it might be from. Alright, thanks a lot, and tune in next time.